What's up, guys and gals? It's me, your old buddy Mr. Moose, back with another edition of Transport Fever. And we're back with our free play, episode number 29 on our US3 map. Now, as you last recall, in our previous episode, we established our new fuel line. And right where we left off, the fuel tanker is fueling up. There's 137 fuel out of 198 fueling up right now. And we'll keep an eye on that. When that is ready to roll out, we'll take a ride on that. But today we're going to pick up where we left off, and I'm going to work a little bit on our rail system. Now, I had a sort of an epiphany after we finished up the episode as I was looking at this, and I really was not happy with the way this line was shaping up and how everything was with needing return lines and things of that nature. So I got to messing around and trying to figure out what I was going to do here. And I came up with a new game plan. Now, I've extended this out to 6 platforms here because I'm going to do something a little bit different. We're going to put in today a return loop so that basically we can eliminate this mess here. And what we'll do is we'll have our train come in on this platform here, do a return loop, and then come back into the station to actually unload. And then we'll just have everything head on out of here. And the reason for that is we're going to have more stuff coming in here, not just the fuel, but we're going to have food and materials, and that's going to need places to get in here. Also, the reason for 6 lines is I'm also going to do another food line out of here, putting food distribution over into this particular area using the farm that is over here on the backside of Antioch. So all that's going to take place, and in order to facilitate that, I got to get this rail yard set up right. So we're going to go ahead and get started today working on that. We'll keep an eye on our train when it rolls out. We'll take a ride on it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to fab in the line that we're going to use to go up to Antioch to this manufacturing facility here. And then we'll go ahead and put in our loop, and we'll get that sorted out, and then we can go ahead and go from there. So to make this happen, I need to come out of here with this particular line, and I want it to just kind of come over this direction like so, and then we'll turn it a little bit like this, head it out, and that will give us the start of what we want for the line. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to spin it so that it comes back around, and basically we're going to bring a line out of here, and we're going to kind of pull it out like this direction-ish, and that'll be good. And then all these lines are going to tie into this one, so we're just going to bring straight into here as close as we can. Come on now. Tie into there, right about there, and then we need to bring this line out and tie in, which is going to be an issue with that tunnel there. Maybe we can get it right. I thought I saw it there. Let's try it from the other direction. It might go in a little bit easier. 234. I think we're getting ready to roll out there. You know what? I'm going to pause the game because I want to get this loop in before we actually ride that rail. Oh, it needs 54 more fuel. Let's let it roll then. I want to get this loop in before we actually do that. There we go. So that'll give us 3 platforms here. And then this line here is just going to come out and turn. And then what we want to do is come out here somewhere in this general area right here. And I want to do a nice turn. Something like that. That's a little too wide. Let's bring it up here and see if we can get it in up here a little bit more. That should work right about there. Now I should be able to bring that back into here. Yep. Yeah, it's a little weird looking loop. That should work. And then I can bring this line on off of here. Like so, keeping the speed up on that. And then this line will go this way. This line will meet up with it. And that will be our lines going out towards Irving. And basically what we're doing is we're creating a loop so that the train can come up, go through the loop, come back around, and then come back into these. And that way, we don't have to do all this spaghetti that I got right here. So let's fix this section now. And we'll change up our line a little bit. Let's pause this. Since we are making these changes, I don't want anything to get going. And we'll get rid of all this mess that we put in the last time, because we just don't need it. With making this change, what we'll actually do is we'll have the trains unload, come in this direction, and then come get back on the rail down house somewhere. Come on, find that track. Come on, find a place to jump in there. Anywhere will work just fine. The speed's not an issue when you're exiting the station. There we go. And that looks kind of decent. That'll work for me. All right, so with that done, let's put some signals in, make sure we got everything right, and make some adjustments to all this. This can go away. All right, and then we're gonna come in here with our signals. Coming out, those signals are fine. I need one right here to hold that train if this line is busy. And then I want to get rid of this signal here and move it maybe down just a little bit. Maybe move that down there like so. That's pretty good. Did I signal this line up? It doesn't look like I did. It looks like it doesn't have any signals on it, as a matter of fact. So let's get some signals on here. I guess we didn't signal all this in the previous episode just because I was too busy wanting to get a train on the line. My bad. All right, so get our signals on. There we go. And we'll get up here, put some on there. Can't believe I didn't do that. I know it's signaled up in this area. And it's crazy signaled up in this area. All right. All right, so we don't have anything to worry about up there. All right, so let's see what we need to do. We're gonna come through here. We're gonna blow through the station. There does need to be a signal prior to that switch. In case there's something on this track, then we're gonna roll around this loop. We're gonna come over here and the game's gonna hang up on me for some reason. Don't know why it kicked around like that, but anyways, this is going to be an inbound train, so I need to put a signal here on the track just in case that train's coming in. There also needs to be a signal here on the loop to hold up the train if the inbound train is already at that situation. Then you need to have a signal here before that switch. And then these guys are coming into the station and they're going into these platforms. We can go ahead and put a signal here just to make it look good. Now, I have run into one thing in messing around with the game that I've come to realize some of these signals before the station can be a mistake. And I'll tell you why. I love them because it looks right. I mean, it does look proper, but because they do have the inherent signals in the platform, meaning as even though they're not shown, the platform does have signals built into it. Because those are in there, you can run into some issues right here with having these where the train on here isn't signaled and this is signaled. And if a train is coming, there's a train sitting in here. And if you've got two trains coming into the same platform, like let's say there's a train sitting on this one that's going to reverse out and you've got a train coming in, that other train can actually get up to this signal, and this little space right here the computer thinks is travel area. So the only time I'm going to have these signals is when I'm going straight through one way. If I've got a bi-directional track where I'm coming into the station and flipping around and coming right back out of, I'm gonna have to eliminate these because they can actually cause some problems. You'll have two trains that will actually butt up. I ran into that issue over here going into the freight yard here in Irving, whereas right here I did have a signal right here on this right here, and I actually ran into a problem where in some playthrough where one of these trains actually got in here, and another freight train came right up into its grill, and I had a little problem, so I learned from my mistake, and I had to get rid of all those, even though I still like putting them in because they look good and they look proper. And I'll still do it on one ways, but where I've got a bi-directional, I'll have to not do it because it can cause issues. And it's the same way with the release signals coming out of the yard. I'll put them in there on one ways, but not on bi-directional because, again, it can cause some problems. But I just love the look of them. So I wish, to me, I wish they didn't have the inherent signals in the station. You actually had to signal everything up. That's my personal feelings on it. But all right, so all of our trains are going to be coming in like so. So we need our waypoints right here, so we can tell the computer which platform I want my trains to come in on. All right, and that is good. Good is good. We should be great. I shouldn't have any issues here, other than I wouldn't mind putting a release signal right here coming out of this side. So we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and put right here, if I can get it to put a release signal. And that is done. Now let's go ahead and grab our bulk food or bulk fuel line, and let's do a little adjustment to it. Now, it was coming to Antioch West after going to the Norwalk sidings. Let's go ahead and, after Norwalk sidings, let's bring it into Antioch West, but let's bring it on this second siding right here. So we'll add a station in, and what you'll see happen when I do that is it'll switch it over to there. So what should happen is the train should come in, go through the bypass, go through the loop, then turn around and come into the station and unload, and then head right on out. Now, that should work for us. I'm hoping everything is right. So we'll go ahead and hit play, and we'll let that run. So it's going to come through the bypass here. Well, it actually unload here. And then it'll go through there, through the loop, through the bypass, and then come out through the tunnel here. So as soon as that gets its 5 more, we'll take a ride on it, and we'll see how it goes. And I'll end up having to do the same loop here in Norwalk in order to make Norwalk work as well with our food line. And we'll get to that in just a moment. Let's go ahead and ride our train, because we don't do enough train riding, and I know a lot of you guys enjoy that. So let's take a ride on our fuel run, and we'll see how it goes. Anyways, thanks again for all the comments you guys have been leaving. I appreciate it. And you guys who are enjoying the series, thank you so much for the support. A lot of nice comments recently, and I do appreciate it. And then I got some of you guys that are just really anxious for me to move ahead with some stuff. But remember that it's only an hour episode, and there's only so much I can do in an hour. So I don't play at the rocket speed, and I don't do a whole bunch of edits and things like that, because I want you guys to actually see how I play the game and how I come out with what I do. I don't like to do the whole BRBs thing. So, and a lot of you guys appreciate that, and I'm glad. So, but I do have a game plan ahead to incorporate some of the chemical factories, to get the tool factories up, steel mills up and running. All that is coming in due time, but we can just kind of tackle little things as they come to us, and we'll get all of it done. I'm in no hurry to get done with this particular map. All right, so there's our split, and now we're headed out the outbound tunnel, and we'll come into the freight yard here in Norwalk, and we'll drop off a bit of fuel here, and it'll be interesting to see how much fuel we dump here versus how much is going to go to Antioch. I'm hoping we get a considerable amount going to Antioch. All right, in we come. Little stutter. And we get paid $2.8 million. That means a lot of fuel is going in here. Probably 3/4 of the fuel is going into Norwalk. Oh yeah. 70 fuel is what we're taking to Antioch. All right. Well, that's all right, but we need more fuel going to Antioch. I don't know. Maybe we should have left the. Maybe I should have left the semis or the road crew pulling the bulk of fuel into Norwalk, and then let the train make most of it to Antioch. Or maybe I should have delivered to Antioch first. Who knows? Oh, a little stuttering. Getting towards that end of game play, it's so many things going. It's a lot for a computer to handle, plus recording at the same time. Quite stressful on the computer. Well, we're getting it done. All right, so we'll head on up here. Need some trees in here. I got to get the tree machine gun out and throw some trees out. Alright, so we're at 70 miles an hour, which I think is the speed limit, top speed for this. No, 75 is the top speed for this train, isn't it? Alright, so we're powering back uphill. Into the tunnel we'll go. And we'll come out the other side and we should be on our way up into Antioch. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully, if I did this right, the train will go through the station, not pause, and go through the loop and then come in. It adds a little bit more time to the route, but it's more realistic, like a real freight yard is. If you look at how freight yards are laid out, the trains don't go into a station and then flip around magically and come out the other side. They have to go through some sort of bypass. The game doesn't really give you that room to do all that stuff with your freight yards, but to put loops in, and it makes it really hard because you have to cover so much distance in order to do it. But I think it's cool adding it in, and it's a feature that I thought, well, let's go ahead and do it and get it into the game. I think it'll be pretty neat. So, all right, here comes our loop now. We'll slow down because it is a very tight turn. That's the only problem with doing the loop too, is it's very time consuming because it's very slow going in there, and then it'll be you're never going to build up any more speed. You're going to be about 30 miles an hour the whole time that we do this, but hopefully that won't kill us on our deliveries. This leg of it, though, I'm afraid is going to kill the profit margin on this particular line. But we'll see. Over time, maybe it'll build up and we'll get a lot of fuel coming up here and everything will work out. Especially if the line starts to establish itself and we get more and more fuel being delivered and we can add a second train in. So we should come up to the light here and hold and get our delivery, and we just lock up because we're probably in an auto save. We were. And we got $1.8 million for that load going in. Finance wise, we're making profit. Our expenses aren't too high right now. Then we got the return run back, which is basically just the same run, so not bad. So our loop does work, and that will be good for us, because what we're going to end up doing is today we're going to add in the food run, going into Norwalk. And that's going to be established off of this rail here. Basically, what I'm going to do is I've already got food coming in from here via this platform. What I want to do now is I want to get this farm up and running, bring in food in to go to this facility here via this rail platform here. And then we'll set up a food distribution line off of this platform that will train food down to here. So we'll get that going. Oh, by the way, somebody asked me about, have I ever considered doing fuel via wheat? There is no such thing as fuel via wheat in the game. There's chemicals. This is a chemical plant. And chemicals are used in the manufacturing process for tools and things like that. Now, and the one thing, again, a lot of people are commenting on, you need to do this, you need to do that. Look, I can only play it an hour at a time. It's not like when you play, where you sit down and you play for 4 or 5 hours and you knock out a whole bunch of stuff. Mine is paced because I'm making episodes for YouTube, and so it's an hour at a time. But this facility here, the reason why I haven't jumped into factories and everything is they take a lot of elements to make these work. And I'm more interested about establishing a base where we're making money on a constant basis. You know, we're up to $2.8 billion, and that's great. And some goes, oh, well, you spend money. Well, then I'd have to pause the game and do all this other stuff. Or I could be like other people and pause the game, BRBs, and come back with everything done, and you don't know how I did it. So I play a little different style. And because of that, I don't move at the speed of light on all this stuff. So I do have plans to incorporate all this, as I discussed earlier. We will incorporate this. We will eventually go south and do some stuff, but my more important thing was getting some base going on. And right now what I'm trying to do is establish Antioch and Norwalk to grow, so that the only, you know, so we're not stuck with 3 huge cities. And you know, like right now we've got big cities in Kansas City, Thousand Oaks, Oklahoma City, even Albuquerque has come up in size. But now we're trying to push the population up in towns like Antioch and things like that, and grow those, so that we're just not stuck with 4 big cities. So by having major all these cities grow and try to keep all of these going and large, we'll make more and more income. So that's the reason why I'm trying to get some food and stuff like that into these cities, is to start growing those as well. And then eventually we'll work on establishing some stuff down in this area to feed Albuquerque and Houston and Palm Bay and all that other stuff. So gradually I'm going to just move south, but it just makes sense to build up in the areas where you're already at. So everybody's got a different gameplay. I play my style. Some other people play a different style. So hope you guys understand that, and don't think that I'm just neglecting these. It's just easier. There's three industries that are simple to make money on, and that is your brick manufacturing here, which is brick construction materials. It's a single step process, meaning you just have to bring stone over and then deliver it to a city. There is fuel, which is just bring in the fuel, bring in the crude oil, make fuel, take it to the city. And then there's food, where you take the food to the processor and take the food to the city. Those are your 3 simple processes. They only require one element, and they're the quick way and the simple way to establish a town, get the town growing, and make a little bit of money. Machines, tools, manufacturing, like this facility here, take a lot more resources. You either have to have wood planks and plastic, or wood planks and steel, in order to get this one producing goods. And in order to do that, that means you've got to get your steel mill operational. You've got to get your planks processing going, or you've got to get, you know, plastics going. There's so many parts moving in there. There's more opportunities to lose money and go bankrupt, and I want to do those more as end of game than in the beginning, whereas I'm trying to make sure I get my base economy started up and running and making money before I jump into that area. So that's the reason I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. So with that established, let's work on this food line, and as I said, we're going to put our food distribution right here. We're going to go ahead and set in a train station for this. And I'm just going to use a terminal. We'll spin this around and see if we can get it placed in here. We're just going to need one platform on this. Make it as long as possible. No catenary, no side streets of any sort. And let's see where we can put it in here so it connects up. Unable to align terrain. Unable to align terrain. Still not working. All right, that's not going to work. So let's see where it will work. It'll work out here. Right about there. So if we stick it right here, then we can put a road in that goes to it. Is that the line it a little bit better to where we want it to go? All right, and then we can slap it down. Unable to align, unable to align. That's about the best place we're going to get it, is right there. So slap it into place, and then we'll grab a little squirt of road and put on the back side of it to connect it to the actual food processor. And with that done, we should have connection. Yep, we do. We have capture. So then at this point, it's just lay some track in, connect this station to that facility, and we'll be good. Regular old track, nothing fancy. We'll kind of roll it around and match that piece of track there. And come on to about maybe here. Yep, right about there. And then let's just bring it from there to there. Too much slope. There's not too much slope. Drop it off of there. I was surprised it didn't give me terrain alignment collision, but all right, there we go. So I opted to use two separate tracks here versus bringing it all into this one track, because this train is going to need to sit here and load up with resources before it goes down the food processor. If I tried to do all that off of one single platform, then this train would get hung up trying to make a delivery while this one was sitting on the track. So that's the reason I opted to do two separate platforms here. So that'll be good. That'll get our food distribution coming in from there. Yep. And then we're going to need to get a train onto that somehow. That probably needs to come off of this back end here. Let's just do a little squirt. I don't ever really see this one connecting and going anywhere, but we'll go ahead and connect it up to... I'm thinking, I really don't ever see using this line going anywhere else for food, but we'll put it on here just for giggles, because it really is just I don't even need to connect it to that line. Let's not connect it to that line. As soon as I say that, I'm going to eventually regret that and need to connect it up, but for now I don't need to connect it to anything. Actually, what I'm going to do is just bring it out just a wee bit here. Maybe right there. That's good. And we'll connect this to there. And then we'll put a train house here. Doop, 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 doop. Turn, turn, turn. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Man, let's use the smoothing tool once again to sort of make all this look a little bit better, because this is atrocious right now. Looks terrible. So we'll smooth all this stuff out a little bit. Get rid of all them bumps and dips and dumps. Make it look a little bit better. And then when we get all this laid out, I'll bring the machine gun in and put some trees in up here. Make it look a little bit better. But there comes our fuel train making the loop again, coming back in. So cool. I like that. Yeah, if we fill this in with a lot of trees and everything, make it look pretty good. I'll do that off camera and fill all that in with the tree machine gun. And this area will start to look pretty good, and all this will build up with some business and stuff. We'll like it, like it, like it. All right, so that gives us our train shed there that we can put a train out on. Put a signal there. Yep, and we'll put a signal. We'll put a signal there. There we go. Works for me. That'll get trains out onto this line and onto our food system, and that'll work. All right, from there we need to work on getting the food over here to this area so that it can actually be going out on the train. To do so, we're going to fix this road here because I don't like it. We're going to make it a better road. Bigger, faster, stronger, all that good stuff. Total $6 million man thing. Let's go ahead and get rid of this little bit of road here. Let's get rid of that little bit of road there. And let's come all the way up to here and get rid of all of this road. Actually, let's get rid of every bit of this road. Because we're going to be trucking our food out of town or out of the farm over to the rail depot. And I want them to be going as fast as possible to do that. So we're going to change up the roadway just a little bit to accomplish that. Because city road doesn't move as nearly as fast as the country road does. So there we go. Push that truck back a little bit. I may even replace this road here and change it so it's a little bit faster, because again, our roadways, if we look, the fastest road we have in city is the extra large street. It's 43 miles an hour. Whereas, as we established in yesterday's video, 62 for our large country road, even if it's a 6-lane. And we definitely want that in this situation. So we want a road that will go as fast as possible from the farm back to here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go with the country road. And we're just going to run it up here. Through the city on the outskirts, pop that in there, and we'll use that to get back over here as well. Oh, don't do that to me. Come on, there's a trick to getting it under this bridge, and clearly I'm not following it. I think the trick was to go just underneath the bridge like so, pop it down, and then come back on the other side and pull it on through. Not what it was. Looks like it. Nice. All right. Nice. That works. So we'll bring this little bit of road all the way up to here. Lock that in like so. And that'll be our nice, fast bypass road that's going to take us out here to the farm, which we want to kind of spin out that direction a little bit. Yep. We want to keep as few turns in this as possible. I want to keep this coming out to the road as quick as possible. There we go. Go from here to there. Yep. Let's keep it pretty. There. Boom. We're at the farm now. And we want to put our truck station in. So we'll come down here and we'll go to commerce. And then we want our truck station. I'm going to put the large truck station in just for giggles. I mean, it costs a little bit more money. I don't even know that it costs that much more money. All right. So as far away from the farm as we can go, but still get capture, which is going to be right there. All right. And give it a little bit, pull back just a little bit so that the trucks have a little bit to get in and out easily. There we go. All right, so there's our truck station that's picking up our farm there, and then we're going to be bringing that over into this facility here, And one of the things that has really annoyed me ever since we laid Antioch in is this little stretch of road here connecting in, and everybody wanting to drive out of here, make a right, make a left, and get back on there. So I don't even think we're going to put that road back in. As a matter of fact, what I'm thinking we'll do is get rid of that road, and I'm going to do a little bit of road work here. Yeah, let's get rid of some of this road as well. And again, I want to go as fast as possible with this. So let's see if we can't come from here to here. Yep. And then go from here into here-ish, like so. There we go. And then we got to connect that up. And then come here to, yeah, we'll delete all that. We'll relay all this. Oops, that's not gonna work. A little bit of road here, give a little squirt of road there, then run the bulldozer. That way I can get rid of that road and not have to destroy those buildings. Nice little trick if you haven't figured that out. Here we go. Come down this way. We got to turn it just a little bit like so. Yep. And we'll destroy a little bit of that road there. And we'll tie this whole thing together. Really? That's what your design plan is? I don't think so. All right. That works. That looks good for me. And then we'll come in here with some city road. Come back down here where we see things again. All right, so we'll come back here with city road and we'll tie all this together, and hopefully all this will eliminate that desire to take the wrong path out of here. Connect that terminal there. Yep, and then let's just bring this back in like so. And if the AI wants to do some stuff, it can. We'll use our magical smoothing tool to fix some of this stuff, some of these blemishes. Flatten this all out. All right. All right, got that done, and then we'll just go out to sort of block in some streets here for the AI to build into. This is one of the things that I'm going to try to do a better job in the future, is just putting in some stuff for the AI to work with, because I think when you do this, it encourages growth, and the more that you tell the game where to go, the better off you are. And that's one of the things I've not done in my gameplay, is tell the AI what to do. I've usually blocked off a little bit and then let the game figure it out on their own. I'm gonna try to do more of that, especially when we do the next series, and that way just kind of manipulate the game a little bit better, and could try to control the way the town develops, especially where there's commuter service. So we'll get that in there, blocked in, and then we'll just kind of, let's put a little stretch of road like that. That looks horrible. There we go. There we go. All right, so all that's put in there. That should give us some design, and that should give us some layout. And now we've eliminated the need for these guys to use the slow street in order to get to there. And they won't make as many turns, and they'll be driving super fast all the way into the into here. So I'm happy with that. Let's see. Next thing that we need to do is probably eliminate this little piece of road altogether. I don't think we're going to get any red flashing lights telling us that we didn't connect the city up. We will go ahead and put a little road in here. Connect that up. And we'll connect this over. Right? Oh, that's the wrong road to put there. We'll put that road in there like so. Give that a little bit of connection. Then we want to connect this piece in here. Because that's where all our trucks are going. Nice. And then we'll also bring this road in. There we go. So that should get all that buttoned up nicely, and we should be able to go ahead and resume and get our trucks moving again, and get them rolling. So let's see, what are we doing here also? I think I never have put, let's look at our line here, make sure everything's following a decent route. Road, visible only, sorry, Antioch freight. Get that out of the way. Losing money as normal. So I've only got them going from here over to here, which isn't good because we've got some industry up here that's not getting deliveries to it. Saving. All right, so we got industrial here, and if we look, oh, come on now, get rid of the road tool. All right, so we're going into Antioch Central, and that is giving us coverage on this part. We're still missing some up in here. So that is that. And then this place here should be covering the rest of this industry. We're not moving fuel into there, so we need to add that into the mix somehow. And I think what we'll do is we'll just make another line. Even though I'm a big fan of going this way and hitting everything, I think it's better off instead of trying to do multiple deliveries, because I'm starting to think that costs you money because the trucks aren't going point to point and they're going over here empty, and that's just time they're driving around and spending money that they're not actually loaded up. So I think I'm going to go ahead and resolve that by adding another one in. Even though I hate trying to manage multiple lines, I think it's the better thing to do, and that will be, we'll use this station to here, and we'll make that Antioch freight too. All right, so caps lock off. Come on, caps lock. Thank you. And then we'll go freight 2. All right, and that is gonna go good. Yep, that is done. All right, so that route is established, and I'll need to put a couple of trucks on that one. So let's go here, and we'll buy a couple of road vehicles. 1, 2. Just for the time being, we'll put 2 on there, and we'll see how that plays out. So, because the only thing that's going to go over into this area is fuel. And we'll just wait and see how much fuel actually gets stocked up over here before we add another truck onto it. But I got a feeling these guys are going to start getting overloaded with food as we increase our food production. We're also, I'm hoping to lessen the amount of trucks hauling fuel in this area because there are going to be a lot more trucks coming in here to haul food. So we need to create a new line, and this line is going to be Antioch A&T, and this will be let's see, farm grain, something like that. Farm grain, or farmed rail. How about that? That'll work. That'll tell me exactly what it's doing. So we'll go ahead and enter that, and we'll add our stations in, which will become this one down here, and we're going to bring it into this one here, so it takes the most direct route possible. If I took it into this one, I feel like it would go a different route. Let's remove that and see how that goes. It would go into there. don't want to do that. It's a couple of extra seconds that it's got to travel, but not as many trucks going into there. Very interesting. Now let's put it in the lower one. Let's remove it and put it into here. And we'll go there. All our fuel is delivered. While we're at it then, since all the fuel is delivered, let's look at one thing. Let's look at Freight 1. And if Freight 1 were to go into... Right now it's Upper Antioch. Let's remove that. Let's add it into that one. See, it completely will change the route on that. The trucks won't go down through here. They'll go through town. And I think that's a longer route. It's just probably even a slower route. So let's have them go through here, because this is a faster route coming this way. So we'll leave them there. Just in time, because I hear a train a-coming. All right, so that is that. We need to put some trucks on that, and we also need to put a train on this one. Did we set up a line for that? I don't think we did. Did we add a grain food processor line? Railroads. Visible only. I don't know why you're showing me the main line, because it is not. Antioch food transfer. We need to establish that that is 1. Or alpha. Well, we could go A. Let's go capital A. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing with a new line. And this will be Antioch food transfer B. A and T. Bark. I do it all the time, don't I? Food. Oh. A and T. Line. Food. Actually, this is food processor is what we ought to call it, but food processor. Let's transfer. They're gonna have to type there, Moose. Or turn the lights on, one of the two. All right, there we go. And so we're going here, and we're going there, and it knows what line to do because it's a simple line. And that is done. That is done. All right, so let's add some trucks onto this line. Let's put about 10 on here. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And set all of those on the farm to rail. There we go. All right, let's buy a train. Buy a choo-choo. Buy a train. And we're going with this big engine here. And we're going to set that up to where it's going to be a nice little brown train. Buy that. And then we're going to go gondolas and rail cars. Or box cars, as they're called. I think it's 9 and 9 will give us the right configuration here. So we'll go 9 gondolas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we'll go box cars 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 313. One more would put us over the line. And then we'll set that to the line. And the line is Antioch Food Transfer B. And that will come out of the chute and get on the line. Kill. And that will give us our first transfer train to bring food into, or food out to the processor, and then also, so we get this food processor activated and up and running. That'd be a good deal. And the next thing we need to do is get a food line going from here down into Norwalk. And to do that, one of the things I also need to do, let's look at this train. Yep. Good looking train. Good looking train. Let's let it cruise on past us. Let's bring up this line and tell it that we actually want it to sit here and load up in this Antioch branch. I believe is this station, right? And we want it to sit here and wait. How long do we want it to wait? Let's say 10 minutes until it gets some, food into it. Hopefully the farm will start up and start producing pretty quick. This is Antioch branch, right? Hello? Antioch West. No, so I got it sitting at the wrong place. So let's bring that back up and nope, there we go. All right, so it will wait in this particular yard and hopefully our farm will start producing, and like clockwork it has. Nice. All right, so we got a little bit of that going and a little bit of that going. Eventually we'll get some of that going down to here to start making some chemicals for our manufacturing facility, but right now let's worry about food. And let's head over here to the wonderful city of Norwalk, where we got to do a little work on this particular system as well. So we set this one up as well with a whole bunch of tracks, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna have the train come in, but we do need to have some sort of return loop because I'm not taking food south yet, and plus I'm thinking I should be able to get some grain from somewhere into maybe one of these facilities to work on some of these, so I don't have to train food as far. So for now, this is the only city I'm gonna worry about getting grain into. So it needs to come into here and be able to return out. But again, so I don't have to do all the spaghetti, I'm going to put in another freight loop in order to be able to facilitate that. So I'm going to take this piece of line here, and this is going to be our incoming line from the south area. So we'll just bring it down into this area a little bit. Right? Terrain collision, whatever. So that's going to come down into here, and it's going to work its way into this little flat a little bit, and then turn and head this way a wee bit. There we go. So that's going to head that way. And then, so I've got this piece of track needs to come over here and tie in it. And this is incoming, so I want it to have as much speed as it can on, if I can carry speed. And I want this one to do the same thing, except I don't want it to curve drastically like that. I want it to start more out here and pull in, so it carries as much speed as possible. I probably want to do that with this leg as well. I should just pull it in. Auto save. Come on, auto save. There we go. All right. Come on, auto save. Finish up. 2040. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Looks a little bit better. All right, and then somewhere over out here, just past the turn, we can set in and do our loop. Maybe like that. How's that going to work out? That means this has got to turn drastically out there. Not so good. Maybe we come more out here with it. Maybe right around in here we go with that. How's that look? A little more achievable to get to, I think. So, you know, because we can bring this. Let's just set that up like so. so-ish. And then we bring this. And again, this is an outbound leg, so you can have a more drastic turn coming out to the outline track because the train's going to be moving slow anyways. And then kind of have that kick over, get onto there like so. That's good. And then we got this little bit of squirted track here that needs to get over as well pretty early. All right. Cool. This freight yard's probably overkill, but we'll just see. We'll just see what we end up with going into it and go from there. All right, and then we need our outbound rail. Just kind of, no, that's not what I want. I want you to work your magic and go out this way a little bit. Too much slope. What are you talking about, too much slope? You're just going right out here into this flat like so. And then you're going to turn like that and then make your way down around in here somehow. Maybe like right about in this area so that you can turn and get underneath that like that. That'll work. Yeah, all that's gonna work. Yeah, it'll work because I said it'll work. That's right. It's gonna work because I said so. All right, so this is again incoming. And so we'll need some waypoints on these 4 tracks. Come on now. Come on, game. I know you're processing a lot of information right now, but work with me. Help me help you play the game. And let's put one more there. There we go. There's our waypoints on that side of track. And yep, signals coming in, signals going out, because this is one way. So I really don't care too much about worrying about whether trains are going to run into it. And this can look good aesthetically. But again, I can have my lights and it's not going to mess gameplay up. So we'll put our release signals in. There we go. And now we'll... Alright, so we'll say these 2 signals here cover this junction, but we will go ahead and put one here for that junction and another one up here for that junction. And then each of these lines, I mean, technically this signal is going to cover this junction, but just to get it marked up a little bit better, we'll go ahead and put those in. There we go. And then we need a signal here before this switch to, you know, stop the train from going this direction if there was some sort of congestion in this area. So down the line, if we get multiple trains using this loop, one might be held here while a northbound train comes through the switch. And then we'll put one there. And then as far as our switches here and there, in case there's a train going in that direction and doesn't get to go into this particular station. And then these can have signals in them. Again, even though I know I don't need them, but this is one way, so I don't care. And it looks good. It looks really good and fabulous. And in real life, they would be there. I think we've established that, but I feel like I need to say things over and over and over again because some of you guys only like, this might be the only episode you've watched. And you're like, oh, you know, you don't need to do that because, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, and haven't heard me say a million times, I like it. So. All right, signals. I think we've pretty much already covered these. Yep. We're using this one to get these 2. Though we do need a signal here, and we do need a signal there. Aha. All right, so that is done, and that is locked up. So let's create a new line for food distribution now with that all in place. Oops. Okay. So we can create a line. And this line is going to be our food distribution line, which will start off here in the beautiful town of Antioch at our station here. It will travel on down the line where it will come in for delivery. And since it's our food line, we're going to put it on, we're going to have it on the third platform up there. So we'll put it on the third platform here. Then bring it into the station. So there it comes through there. Then it'll go through our loop, come back out around. It'll go out on the bypass, come up the line, and we'll spin around here. And we'll just check it out up here at the top of the map. It will come through the bypass as well. And then we need to put it on the third line right here. I'm going to have it come in on the third platform here. There we go. And so that is routed properly. And that is going to be ANT. Let's ANT to Norwalk. Oh. NOR. And then we'll call this bulk food. And that will be done. And then all I have to do is put a train on there and we'll be good to go, which we will do in our next episode because we are running out of time. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed it. By the way, I did go ahead and set up all the road and the trams to go ahead and replace themselves at 100% because we were getting so many notifications earlier. So I did go ahead and set that up so that's been going on in the background. We are at $3.1 billion. We're making about $83 million a year, which is pretty good. We've made a couple of $100 million a year, but I do need to go ahead and probably in the next episode visit our West Coast main line and see how we're doing with the rails. Maybe we need to add a couple more trains onto that. We'll add a train onto our bulk food line. We'll get that established. And I think once we get this little piece buttoned up and rolling, then we'll jump down here. We'll finish up the passenger line, get this connected all the way from here to Madison and Omaha because we've yet to finish that leg up. We need to get that taken care of. And we probably, like I said, looking at the number of passengers that are waiting, we probably need to add some new trains onto this West Coast line. We probably also need to add some trains onto the main line because we're still sitting with tons of people that need to be moved and we're not really actually doing anything with those. So we'll visit all of that in the next episode. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it today. And make sure you comment below. Smack the like button if you did enjoy it. And if you like our little freight line and our freight loops, go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you guys think. As always, I do appreciate the comments. Trust me, I do appreciate the comments. I appreciate your insight. I'm usually way ahead of you guys, even though you're seeing what I'm doing right now. I've already really thought through the map and I've already got pretty much everything that I'm planning on doing thought through. It's much easier for you guys to watch the episode and go, oh man, he should be doing this and he should be doing all this down here and it's all that. It's really easy for you guys to do that. And but it's a little bit more complicated when you're actually trying to play the game and do the game and record the videos. And I can't do everything at one time. I'd love to be able to do everything. A lot of you guys have some great ideas about coming down here and doing industry down here and everything. But I need to focus my attention on what's working right now and making sure that we're making money, making sure that distributions are getting done and everything is getting taken care of. Because if you let one little thing get out of whack, all of a sudden you can lose a lot of money. So you're constantly having to monitor, like, look at all the construction materials that are piling up over here. I probably need to come and look at all this stuff and balance it out a little bit. So again, I know it's easy for you guys to second guess everything I'm doing, but trust me, I've probably thought through most everything you guys are throwing at me, but I do appreciate the comments. And I try to cover all that stuff. Is like, if you say something, I do try to address it, like the airlines and all that other stuff. Like I said, and people are still on me about the airlines. I've tried so many things in a test map to get things to work. They've all failed. I've put airlines down here in Riverside. I've put train in Omaha. I've put an airline in El Monte or El Monte. I've put one in Flint. I've put in Tallahassee. Well, actually, it was in Montgomery right here with a train in between the two of them. They all failed. None of them seemed to do anything. So, but anyways, I do appreciate the comments. I don't think I don't. And some people have some really good ideas, and I take them to heart. I do, and I try to incorporate them wherever possible. So, but anyways, thanks as always for your support. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and join us for some live streams this week. I am going to try to live stream a little bit this week, but I do have some family issues to deal with. So we'll see what the week is going to present. But thanks for watching. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.